Greetings, sisters and brothers. Professor Bates, or Proof B here. Welcome to Per Neter Kemet, or the House of Divinity of Ancient Egypt. I'm going to change the Per Neter Kemet temple because everybody like that. I don't want to join no temple. I'm not trying to. I don't want you to join. I don't want no followers. I don't want no believers. I want people who are ready to get out of here and make a change. Do for self and kind. And leave me alone. I don't want to be a leader, but nobody else is doing this stuff. But anyway, I made this part 2 to the first video, which is about surviving disaster. So what I did not talk about on the first video was first aid. So I talked about weapons, like if somebody attacks you, get into your martial arts, have your weapons. I didn't go into any specific martial art, whatever. Do you? I showed my power system, my solar power, and I talked about food and water, etc. So like I said, what I did not mention is first aid. Now, it's almost common sense that if you're in the street, if there's a disaster, like I said, you don't have to be an earthquake. You might not even live in an earthquake zone, but personal disaster. If your house, if you have a fire and everything burned down, and you don't have no family that be like, yo, you can come to my house, and you might not even want to do that anyway. You might say, well, shit, let me do this street thing. Well, you need to know how to survive on the street. It is not the same as having an apartment or a house to just be like, oh, I'm chilling. No, I've lived on the street. Believe. No, you know what? I've never lived on the street. I've lived outside on the beach. When it was time to live outside, I'm leaving New York. People are like, you can't just go to California with no money. I got bus fare. I'm out. That's all I need. I come out here and survive because I can live outside because it's mostly sunny. It's 6 or more months of winter in New York. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how the people that live on the streets in New York, sleeping in the cold. No. I moved to California. That's where I'm at. So anyway, the second part, if there's a natural disaster, because I am in California and I am in a earthquake zone, and the purpose and the reason I'm doing these 2 videos is because today, a few hours ago, it wasn't a terrible earthquake, but it was enough to make me like, oh shit, let me get prepared. So it made me think, what would I like, just the things that I would try to take if this building start crumbling and falling apart around me. So this video is about first aid. So now this little thing here is what I carry around with me every day, because as a martial artist, as a person who is around other people who look like you, etc., if and you live in a zone that could potentially be a disaster, you might have to bring the superhero out. For real, for real. So I carry this around every day just in case. Because, I mean, it don't have to be a disaster. Again, I was standing on the street in Harlem one day. I'm just standing there, and this brother was standing right next to me. We waiting for the light so we can cross the street. This dude rolled up on a bicycle and shot the dude right next. He's like right here. Like right here. The dude shot him and rode off on the bike. The reason I started getting into this is because I know Kung Fu. I know how to hurt people. But here's a brother lying here. Whether he bad or not, I don't know what did he do to this brother to get shot like that. But whatever, I did not know what to do. The only thing I knew to do was, hey, get on the phone and call the ambulance that's going to take 20 hours to get there. This is Harlem. I mean, they might get there quick, but the dude is already shot. That's a problem by itself. You can't call the police. You can't call the ambulance until the action has already happened. And that might be too late. You got to know how to take care and do for self. So the first aid kit is the first step towards doing for self. Keep a first aid kit with you. But let's start. I'm going to come back to this. But let's start from the beginning. I'm starting a whole new Kung Fu school. I mean, it's new. I don't even have students yet. I ain't got nothing yet except for the Kung Fu itself, you know, the system that I've created. So I'm starting from scratch. But one thing I wanted to incorporate in my Kung Fu school, classes, whatever, is what's called HIT medicine. Dit ja, dit ja, dit, like dit dat jow, dit jow, dit jow. HIT medicine. That takes a whole explanation by itself because I don't know, I'm sure other cultures who developed a high level of martial arts have their medicine for martial art injuries. But I can almost bet you, you want to bet that the Chinese have the most extensive and the most sophisticated system of self-healing. Now, there's two parts to that. So that's how deep it gets. Because self-healing could be, oh, let me learn how to breathe, let me learn how to eat, because I got cancer, whatever. That's one side of self-healing. The other side of self-healing in Chinese martial arts is that if somebody punched the fuck out of you and it punched your stomach so hard where you throwing up blood, what do you do? Oh, let me go to a doctor. You think Western doctors know how to stop internal bleeding? But guess what? In Jiao, or Chinese HIT medicine, they do. And here's the book. Now, this book I would like to make, not like to make, I will make part of my Kung Fu. When you learn my Kung Fu as to become a consultant instructor, this got to be part of it, even if you just learn the basics. Where if you out on the street and somebody gets stabbed or shot right next to you, you'd be like, I don't know what to do. At least have some basic idea of what to do. You might save a life for real, for real, for real. This is called HIT medicine. This is the book. Now, in this book, it's not just about, traumatic injuries like getting shot and stuff like that. That's like the total extreme. But It's really like sports medicine, because in sports you get some of the same injuries that you might get in martial arts, like a broken wrist or a broken bone or a sprained ankle, or a really hard strike that brings up a knot and bruising and stuff like that. This stuff is incredible. The stuff in Chinese hit medicine is incredible. Let me show you some of this stuff. This stuff is incredible. Now, the other reason I want to teach it is because, as far as I know, most traditional kung fu schools don't teach this stuff. You go to school 2 days a week for 2 hours and for 20 years, and all they're going to teach you is forms and maybe some weapons. And if you're really lucky, you get to know the teacher really good, and he might take you in the back, and then he might show you some of this. But they're not going to show this stuff commercially. And even if they know it, most kung fu people might have even lost this knowledge. This should be half. If you're learning kung fu, this should be the other half of that kung fu knowledge. Look at the old movies. All the doctors was also kung fu masters. Masters, not no. Oh, I'm doing kung fu for the weekend. Faggot shit. Sorry, y'all. So let's start out from the bottom. Well, first of all, if you live in the hood like I do, part of the foundation of what I do is cannabis, both marijuana and hemp. We'll talk about hemp on another video. But god dang nabbit, first aid, if I'm broke up and I'm like, maybe I might not even be able to move to be able to put none of this stuff I'm getting ready to show you. I'll be like, oh, the last thing I'm going to do is put me some herb in the bowl. I can still move a little bit just before I die. Put me some herb in the bowl. I hope my thumbs still work. Okay, I can die now. Fuck it, straight up and down, man. That's what it's about in the hood, the herb. That's what my whole kung fu, not based on herb, but we gonna get real deep into the spiritual, the medical, the economic, as well as the recreational aspects of marijuana. Whole nother video. So what else do I have? After that, you'd be like, what else do I need? Now these first few things I'm getting ready to show are a part of the first video, but I keep them with my first aid kit because they can go either way. You can use them in first aid, and you can use them for just plain survival. So the first thing is, this is a compact staff. It's a novelty, but you never know. All I gotta do is take this pin out, and I got a big ass long staff. And even if it's all flimsy and shit, I can whip some ass with this. So, but I keep it with the first aid because it's compact. It's not like a big ass staff that I'm carrying around. And I put it with my first aid kit because if I lose all the other stuff that I showed on the first video, I'm hoping that I would at least have my first aid kit with me. So part of that is I didn't show on the first video, which goes both. I should have this in both. Just plain wooden matches in a plastic bag, and I got the striker in there too. Well, I wouldn't have plain wooden matches. I have the wooden matches that can get wet and be in wind and all that type of survival matches, and put them in plastic so they don't get wet, and keep them. Just some basic scissors. snip, snip, snip shit. You never know. Now this is kind of a special type of thing. It's a knife, but it's compact. All I gotta do is open that up, open this up, close this back, and I have a knife. Now, again, I mean, I could use this for fighting if I had to, but basically it's for, cutting shit. It got like a little tiny saw on the back. It's for survival. But like I said, if you needed to fight with it, it could come in handy. This is a magnifying glass. Now, if you are bad sighted and you outside and you had to read some little tiny letters like, don't drink this because it's poison. You be like, what I say? What I say? You get your magnifying glass. You be like, oh, don't drink this. You understand? Or you might be somewhere where you can set a fire. If it's really sunny out, you can take your magnifying glass and actually start you a fire to cook or keep you warm or all that good shit. Now these here, like I said, all these first few things are part of the survival stuff that I showed in the first video, but they're also first aid to me, because if I need to get into somewhere, like I showed y'all earlier, I had my mask and I had my tool to, if I have to break into a car window, and take your shit. But if I have to break into an apartment, these are lock picking tools. Now, this stuff is tempting because you can be like criminal minded and be like, even before a disaster happened, you mean I can pick somebody's lock? No, Negro, this is not for that. This is for survival. If I'm outside or living in the street and I find an empty apartment that's locked and it might have food and stuff in there, I'm breaking in and taking your shit straight up and down. What? So this here, is like my little. Now this is a multi-task knife. You got me, ouch, ow, fuck. Got a little Phillips screwdriver. Now just in case I just happen to find a bottle of wine out there in the middle of disaster, I got a wine bottle type. And it got a little knife. You got a little pair of scissors, little bottle opener and shit like that. The survival knife. Now this is also a bottle opener that I kind of keep with me. And this is a can opener. This is the type of can opener that they gave me when I was in the Marine Corps. Because some of the survival foods, or some of the, I forgot what they call it, the military foods, you had to open up the cans and shit. And this, we call it a John Wayne. It works. In a survival situation, you got a can and don't have a can opener, guess what? John Wayne. You can buy these in, those survival stores. Now this is cool. I just wanted to show this. This is a nail clipper. Because if you're living outside, your nails is going to grow. So I'm like, wow, nail clipper, huh? It's compact. Check it out. But all I have to do is, bam, and there it is. I can clip my nails. And this side is like I can clean my nails and I can file my nails. I mean, even if I'm living outside, I want to kind of look kind of good, I guess. You never know who you might meet. This is just a general plastic bag to put all this stuff in. If you're living outside, there might be, depending on where you live at, whatever, there might be a lot of rain. There might be you might be in a watery situation. Take a plastic bag and keep your stuff, whether you want it dry or not, because the stuff that may not need to be dry might get rusted if it came into contact with, especially salt water out here. So, what are the things that the basic things that we would need for first aid? Let's start out with with the least needed thing. I keeps me some extra strength Tylenol, because as you get older and as you know, you get toothaches and all kinds of dumb shit like that, and you outside, you be like, fuck, I forgot the Tylenol. I'm, I got like a couple of things here, but I'm gonna get some more. I want to have a bunch. You never know. I mean, if you're living outside, you never know. Now let's get back to the little kit. Now this little kit is just what I carry around with me, but I would want to get a bigger box to keep all this stuff in for a real survival situation. But some of the things that I would keep in my survival kit is gauze. If I get cut and I need to cover it up, I need gauze. You need tape to tape down the gauze. This is just another little survival knife. I just like to keep, it's like the first aid little knifey. Maybe if you got your wife with you, you can give her this one. And this burn cream. I mean, you never know if your disaster is a house fire and you get burnt, but you live, and there's no place to go. It might be a big fire. Like again, it might be a national thing. Like if this place have a big earthquake all over the state of California, will be on fire. Gas stoves, that means gas lines running through your house. The house is made of wood. Earthquake zone. Fires everywhere. Burn cream. Simple thing. Get you a bunch of burn cream. You ain't got to think about it no more. It's in the first aid kit. And then, clean your damn ears. Have band-aids. That's the basic stuff. These patches that you might put on a bigger cut. Just the general stuff like that should go in your first aid kit. Now, the last few things I will show is, for pain and stuff like this. I don't know where I got it from, but I'm going to find some more of it. And this is one of the things that I'm going to stock up on. It's called low key motion. Low key motion. Now, what it's a cannabis, like roll-on thing for pain and aches. Now, as you can see, I used it for whatever reason. When I got it, I was going through a lot of aches and pains. I mean, I'm pushing 70 years old. I'm 60. I'll be 68 in November. So, yes, sometimes, even though with all the shit that I do, I get aches and pains. So I've used the hell out of this. Every little hit, I like, and it works. I wouldn't even show it. I don't promote other countries. I don't promote companies like particularly, but stuff like this. If I don't eventually make it myself, I would like to find this company because this stuff works. The next level, I used to deal with this company called Sun Rider. Now, what they do is take all this Chinese, mostly the Chinese nutrition, and they have other sports products and stuff. But they take the same herbs that was traditionally like Chinese formulas, but they concentrate the formula. Like they like a Chinese person might take the formula and they make the formula out of the herbs and they give you the formula. Well, Sunwriter takes that same formula, but they concentrate it 7 times. So if you take a little bit like this, you're gonna feel it. The biggest problem I have with Sunwriter, of course, as a black person in the hood, is the expense. Now, the person I learned about this from, she lived in the hood too, but she was a business person. You know, it wasn't like, well, I don't feel like selling this thing for, like, this thing would be like $10 or more. This little bottle, people were like, $10 for it? But like I said, I put a drop of this on ache or pain. This is like the last stuff. I put this is concentrated, what do they call that in Kung Fu? You know, the stuff you put on. Well, anyway, this is like really concentrated. If you get a pain or something and you put this on, it's unclear. It's going to go away. This is powerful stuff. And the nutrition stuff from Sunrider, I would love to get into it, but like I said, the cost of it for the average person, the nutrition is off the chain though. It's like real stuff. The next level is actually comes out of Kung Fu. And this is literally what they call dit jiao or hit medicine. This stuff is so fantastic. All the stuff I'm showing you is like super fantastic because it's amazing to me that I can be a martial artist and somebody can punch the fuck out of me and I can go get, and you know, I might get a big ass knot and it's turning black and blue and the blood is collecting. And I put some of this on, I put some jiao, dit jiao on that punch, and the blood and the pain and everything will go away. I can't wait for hours and hours. You got to put this on. As soon as I get punched, that's why you have to have a first aid kit that you carry with you. As soon as I got punched, oh man, oh, stop. Let me get my jowl. You go. Literally, I have used this stuff. It's different types. Different schools had their own jowl, da da da. But basically, that jowl does the same thing for bruises, for like if somebody really hits you and you know you get one of them knots that's like, oh God, that knot never gonna go away, and it start turning black and black. Put this stuff on and it is gone. There's no exaggeration. I would not show you these things if I didn't try them and I didn't know for a fact that they work. Ouch. Straight up and down. Lastly, is a powder. What did I do with my bottle? Well, all I got is pills right now. I kind of want to take one out. It's just little capsules, right? And they come in this thing, but they have a bottle with the powder in it. And it's literally called Payao. Now, I mean, that's like when you were a child and you like pretending that you punching your friend or your brother and be like, Payao. No. This is literally what this stuff is named. Now, usually you get it in a little vial, and the vial is supposed to come with one of these little capsules. Now, what this does is stops bleeding both internally and externally. In other words, if I get stabbed or cut, I put on some Payao, the bleeding stops, the pain stops, and more than likely, the cut, like if you get that keloid stuff, more than likely the cut will heal like that, really smooth, like this cut. I got stabbed in the head. So smooth. That's like Queen Latifah. I'm still waiting for that Queen Latifah money. But we got the same cut in the head. Anyway, fantastic. This is what Kung Fu is. This stuff is fantastic. This stuff is off the chain. There's nothing like this in Western medical system. There is nothing. They may be just starting to catch on to some of this stuff. But right now, as a whole science, I got the book right here. I got the whole science right here. I don't have to piece it together. You can heal just about anything that happens to you. Sprains, bruises, cuts, contusions. You can heal yourself. I don't have to wait. Even a gunshot wound or a knife wound. If I can move and be like, call an ambulance. I mean, anyway, but by the time they get there, I done took some shit that's helping me now. You understand? I wanted to start a thing called Heroes in the Hood, where people come and train and get certified under my, I hate to say my, it sounds like I'm bragging, but it's my Kung Fu. I developed cannabis Kung Fu yoga. It's mine. Mine! But anyway, if you study that and it's 10 months, get certified, you're going to learn this stuff. And you will be a hero in your hood. Somebody gets shot or beat up next to you, you will know what to do. Like, what do I do? Let me call the Caucasian police and ambulance, and hopefully they'll get here before the brother or sister die. They might kill them. That's a whole nother story. So that's it. Prepare. Don't wait until disaster strike and be like, oh, what do? I want to live. No, you don't want to live. If you did not prepare, you did not care about your own life, about the life of your family, friends, and the people around you. I don't have a lot of that. Basically, I might have one or two people who care about me, but they're in New York. If a disaster happened out here, you think they're going to jump on a plane and come help me? They probably won't be able to find me. For real. You got to think in reality. If I have a big-ass earthquake out here, I am on my own. I have to do for self and kind. Well, no. The only kind after that is the kind that be like, yo, brother, we together, let's do this thing together. Maybe my roommate might say that. I don't know anybody else. I don't know anybody else out here that would be like, yo, brother, we together. None, zip, zero, nada. These are the most selfish Negroes I ever met in my life in California. Straight up and down. And other people from the East Coast say the same goddamn thing, so it's not me by myself. So be prepared. Have your herb. Get your shit. Get your first aid shit together. And after that, once it's all together, I have all this shit by the front door, that's all you can do. If the earthquake just happened and the roof fall on me and kill me, I can't do nothing about that. But I'm prepared, goddammit. If I get killed, somebody might find this stuff and they be prepared. You never know. I might be collecting all this shit for somebody else. But hopefully, if there's a big-ass earthquake, I will survive. I'm out. Peace.